What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports 200 Show, live on YouTube, doing another mock draft video. Just several days ago, I did a mock draft of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Jets. Today, I will be doing a 7-round mock draft of the Houston Texans. Obviously, they do not have the 3rd-round pick because, the Laramie Tunsil trade, and therefore their pick is to the Miami Dolphins instead. So I'm going to be continuing the series, doing a 7-round mock draft of every single team. So these mock drafts, these are not mock drafts I did a 7-round mock draft from. I did a mock draft simulator from Pro Football Network. And so I guess we'll go ahead and get started here with the Houston Texans 7-round mock draft. So the Texans do not have a 1st-round pick or a 2nd-round pick due to the Laramie Tunsil trade. So we have to wait until the 3rd round for the Texans to select the pick. So in the 3rd round, the Houston Texans get offensive guard Trey Smith. Even though they have Tunsil, they still don't have a good offensive line at all. Trey Smith here is an amazing pick to me. He had blood clot issues back in 2018, and that's the reason why, he's on some mock drafts, he's fell to the 3rd round or fell to the late 2nd. But if it wasn't due to those blood clots, he would, in my opinion, more than likely be a 1st-round pick. He reminds me a lot of Maurice Hurst several years ago, the defensive tackle for the, Michigan, and he had lots of heart issues. And it wasn't for the heart issues. He was a projected 1st-round pick, but he actually fell to the 4th round and was selected by the Raiders. But Smith here, I think it'll be a great pick, regardless if you have Deshaun Watson, being their quarterback or not. You still need somebody to protect the quarterback, whoever it may be. And something else to point out, I will be doing another 7-round mock draft of every single team, after the compensatory picks are released and after, a couple weeks of free agency. So more than likely, this is going to be a whole lot different for the Texans because they're more than likely going to have some more picks, especially if they would end up trading Deshaun Watson. So Trey Smith there in the 3rd, to me, that's a really good pick. The 4th round, Ambry Thomas. I like Ambry Thomas a lot. They need some more cornerback help. Led the Big Ten and PFF rating in 2019. That's including Jeffrey Okudah, the cornerback from Ohio State, who was drafted 3rd overall in the 2019 draft and 2020 draft. But I think Ambry Thomas would be a really good pick here. He's been rising on some people's boards. I really don't know if he'll be available, but if he is available, I think that would be a really solid pick for Houston. The 4th round, having them take Marvin Wilson, the defensive tackle from Florida State. They need defensive line help big time. They have J.J. Watt, but he's good, but he's getting up there in age and he's injury prone. I know he plays edge, but Wilson, to me, I think you're going to get a good defensive tackle because, you just recently lost DJ Reader this past offseason to the Cincinnati Bengals. And so you need a good big defensive tackle there, and I think Marvin Wilson would be a good pick there to kind of refill DJ Reader's role as the defensive tackle for the Houston Texans. And, I mentioned edge rushers. I said, J.J. Watt's kind of injury prone, getting up there in age. The 5th round, to me, I think maybe even earlier, this is a really nice edge class. Shaka Toney, I don't imagine he'll still be here in the 5th round, but if so, I think that would be a tremendous pick by the Houston Texans. I think he can kind of take over Watt's role. I mean, he's not going to, put up the production and the stats like J.J. Watt. But I think he would be a nice piece. If you trade Watt, you get a mid-round pick for him or something like that. You can get you a guy like a Shaka Toney or Smith from UAB, Quincy Roche, something like that. To me, I think that's a pretty good pick. May not help you a ton right now, but I think he definitely could help you a lot in the future. So, the Houston Texans, they don't have a 1st or 2nd round pick, but they have lots of late round picks. I mean, they have 3 6th-round picks. That's, 6th-round picks, half the time, 6th-round picks don't even make the team. So to me, you're better off trading 2 6 for a 5th and then 2 5th for a 4th and just continuing that trend, get higher picks. But to start the 1st 6th-round pick here for the Houston Texans, they need wide receivers. I know they have Cooks and stuff, and they have a couple other receivers, but they're up there in age. Jalen Darden. If you've not seen my NFL mock draft videos, especially of the Bengals, obviously I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan. Jalen Darden is one of my favorite wide receiver prospects in the draft. He reminds me so much of Tyreek Hill for the Kansas City Chiefs. Small school, really speedster. He'll kill you with his speed. His juke move is fantastic. Not the biggest guy. His yards after the catch, he's so explosive. Once he catches the ball, you don't know what he's going to do. He had 19 receiving touchdowns in just 9 games this season for North Texas. Any team who drafts Jalen Darden is going to get an absolute stud. And it's one of those situations, well, he'll probably be a 6th-round pick, maybe late 5th. But it's a low-risk, extremely high-reward type of situation. I think Jalen Darden from North Texas would be a really nice pick here for the Houston Texans. As we go to their 2nd and 6th-round pick, Quentin Morris, the tight end from Bowling Green. Morris is a really underrated tight end coming from a small school from the MAC. And he had a really impressive, Senior Bowl. He had a nice practice, and he had that extremely nice hurdle over a defender during the Senior Bowl game. And I think he's going to, get some more hype when it comes down to draft time. And I think he might be drafted earlier than the 6th round. Maybe just depends, 5th, maybe. I don't know. But he had a really nice Senior Bowl week practice. He's someone to keep an eye out for. Maybe somebody who, rises up to like the 4th round or something like that when it's draft day. But to me, that's a pretty good pick there by the Houston Texans. With their last 6th-round pick, I have them taking safety Paris Ford from Pittsburgh. This is more of a depth pick. Ford is a pretty nice safety. It's basically a depth pick here. I think that would be pretty good for them. They could use some safety help in their secondary. They don't have a great secondary. So Paris Ford there in the 6th round. And then in the 7th round, regardless of who the Houston Texans quarterback is, whether they, sign someone like a Ryan Fitzpatrick and then, trade Deshaun Watson or something like that, or, trade Deshaun Watson and get a guy like Derek Carr. I've seen rumors about that. To me, I would still like to see the Houston Texans get a good backup quarterback. And the 7th round pick here, I have them taking Ian Book. To me, Ian Book will never more than likely be a good starter in the NFL, but I think he has a good potential to be a nice backup quarterback in the NFL. He has some potential, but it'll be really interesting to see how he translates into the NFL. I do like that pick here by the Texans because, Book, he's one of those players. I think, if he needs to start, he can maybe win you a game or two every now and then, but he'll be more so the backup for the Houston Texans for whoever the future Houston Texans quarterback is going to be at this upcoming season. It'll be really interesting to see, if Watson will stay on the team, if they trade for Watson, if they trade away Watson, if they'll get a star quarterback in return. So yeah, this was kind of my 7-round mock draft of the Houston Texans. We'll just review these picks here real quick. In the 3rd round, they got Trey Smith, the guard from Tennessee. In the 4th round, Ambry Thomas, the corner from Michigan. In the 4th round, defensive tackle Marvin Wilson from Florida State. With their 5th round pick, Shakatoni, the edge rusher from Penn State. Their 6th round pick, wide receiver Jalen Darden from North Texas. With their other 6th round pick, tight end Quentin Morris from Bowling Green. Paris Ford, the safety from Pittsburgh, with their 3rd 6th round pick. And their final pick in the draft in the 7th round, they select Notre Dame quarterback Ian Book. This is my 3rd 7-round mock draft for each team. Next would be the Atlanta Falcons, and then after that will be followed by the Bengals and the Eagles. I really appreciate, you all watching this video. If you can like this video, I would greatly appreciate it. But more importantly, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day, and I will see you next time on the Sports Dude Hunt Show.